Hello, and welcome to How to Buy a HUD Owned Property, presented by Bo Evans of Bo Evans Realty, Prattville, Alabama.
First, it's important to understand what a HUD home is and what it is not. A HUD home is a property owned by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. It is a foreclosed property, and it is a property that previously had an FHA mortgage on it. A HUD home is not a rental property, a low-end property. It is not necessarily an investment property, although they do make good investments. It is not an auction property, and it is not a property that allows non-qualified purchasers to buy a house. HUD does offer some excellent incentives for owner-occupant purchasers, and we'll talk about those later. So, what are the steps in buying a HUD-owned property? First, any buyer will want to be pre-approved for financing. Most buyers who are owner-occupants and buying a HUD-owned property will consider FHA financing first. Whether you buy a HUD home or any other home, you will need to be pre-approved by a lender or be prepared to show proof of funds from a bank if you're paying cash. Lenders will ask you specific questions about your credit history, employment history, income, source of any down payment, and the property you are interested in purchasing. Using this information, they will let you know how much home you can afford. You should ask the lender if they have any experience in financing HUD-owned properties. FHA financing, in general, requires a down payment of 3.5% of the purchase price. Then, you will need to find an agent. Any licensed real estate agent that is registered with HUD can sell HUD-owned properties. Your selection of an agent should be based on trust, as well as the agent's knowledge of the market. Real estate agents that are members of the local multiple listing service, or MLS, can show and sell any property that is listed for sale on the market. Bo Evans Realty has over 20 years' experience in the sale of HUD properties and is uniquely qualified to find the perfect home to meet your needs. Once you've found an agent and a lender, you'll want to find a property. Most local multiple listing services have public websites that allow users to search for homes meeting their criteria. All HUD homes are listed at www.hudhomestore.com and can be searched by location, price, and features of the home. Other websites that allow home searches are www.realtor.com and our website, www.boevansrealty.com. In addition, your agent can produce a list of available properties within your price range with the features you are looking for in a home. This is the HUD Home Store website. It can be found at www.hudhomestore.com. It is important to understand the various types of HUD home listings. There are three types of HUD listings. The first is insured, or IN. These properties are eligible for FHA financing with no repairs. The second is insured with a repair escrow, or IE. These properties are eligible for FHA financing but have needed repairs of less than $5,000. The repair funds can be added into an FHA mortgage. The third is UI, or uninsured. These properties have more than $5,000 in needed repairs and are not eligible for FHA financing. They are eligible for FHA 203K financing. There are many incentives for owner-occupants who are purchasing HUD-owned properties. Among these, an appraisal is provided for FHA purchasers. A termite inspection is also provided for FHA purchasers. FHA purchasers can buy with as little as $100 down in many cases. In some cases, particularly listing types, i.e. or insured with a repair escrow, HUD will allow FHA purchasers to add repair costs to the loan amount. You should ask your agent and your lender about this. HUD will pay up to 3% of the sales price toward closing costs for all purchasers. Selecting your new home. All HUD registered agents can show and sell HUD-owned properties. It doesn't matter who has the property listed. All registered agents can show and sell HUD-owned properties within their licensed jurisdiction. Bo Evans Realty can show and sell HUD-owned properties throughout the state of Alabama, and in most cases can show and sell any property listed in the state of Alabama. Buying your HUD-owned property. It is important to understand HUD's listing periods. There are 3 specific listing periods for HUD properties. The first is the initial or simultaneous period. This is for owner-occupants only. All offers are held until the property has been on the market for 10 calendar days and open simultaneously. The second is the exclusive owner-occupant period. This is the first 15 days on the market and includes the simultaneous period. This is also for owner-occupants only. All offers are open daily. The third is the extended or all-buyer period. This is after 15 days on the market. It's all owner types, whether they are owner-occupants or investors, and all offers are open daily. Making the offer. When you find the perfect HUD-owned property to suit your needs, your agent will complete the HUD purchase offer and you will be asked to sign it. You should rely on your agent's advice when making your offer. All HUD properties are sold strictly as is, where is. No repairs will be allowed prior to closing. Once the HUD purchase offer is complete, your agent will submit your offer through HUD's website. Bo Evans Realty has over 20 years' experience in the marketing and sale of HUD-owned properties. What criteria does HUD use to accept offers? Regardless of the listing period or buyer type, HUD will accept the offer that has the highest acceptable net price to HUD. HUD reserves the right to accept or reject any and all offers. Don't get locked out. Make your highest, best, and final offer the first time. Accepted offers. Once an offer is accepted by HUD, HUD will inform the selling agent and generate the contract and addenda. The sales contract determines the price and terms of the sale, including the method that the buyer is taking title. At the time the contract and addenda are signed, an earnest money deposit in an amount determined by HUD will be due in certified funds. The buyer will receive credit for this at closing. All HUD properties are sold as is, where is. There can be no repairs prior to closing. HUD addenda spell out HUD policies in regard to earnest money disposition, inspections, contract cancellation, and other requirements for HUD home purchasers. The package must also contain a lender approval letter or proof of funds letter, as well as other documents as determined by HUD. HUD contract packages are due to HUD via overnight delivery within 48 hours of acceptance. Inspections. Buyers are encouraged to perform any professional inspection of the property within 15 days of the contract execution. These inspections may include a professional home inspection, an inspection for wood-destroying organisms, a structural inspection, and inspections for mold and radon gas. The buyer is responsible for activating any and all utilities for inspections and may be required to pay a re-winterization fee to HUD. HUD closing guidelines. All investor purchasers and non-FHA purchasers must close within 30 days of contract execution. All FHA purchasers must close within 45 days of contract execution. All FHA 203K purchasers must close within 60 days of contract execution. Any extension must be accompanied by a letter from the lender detailing that closing is imminent and an extension fee determined by HUD. Extensions are approved at HUD's discretion and must be submitted within a week prior to contract expiration. Closing. Buyer select closing agent. In most areas of the country, HUD now allows buyers to choose their closing agent. This is determined at the time the offer is placed. Closing agents must be approved by HUD. Don't know who to choose? Ask your agent. They'll be happy to offer some suggestions. On the day of closing, the buyer will sign all lender documents as well as documents that may be required by the closing agent, real estate companies, or the seller. HUD will provide a deed to the property. All settlement funds, the down payment, prepaid items, and closing fees in excess of the seller contribution are due in the form of wired funds or certified funds.
Still have questions? Give us a call, 1-800-209-4843, or email me at boevans@knology.net.
Exceeding expectations every time. Bo Evans Realty. Exceeding expectations every time. Bo Evans Realty.